We are talking all things home organization, calendars, routines, chores, a list, and so much more. Hi, my name is Sierra McDowell. If you have seen my other videos, then you know I am a hearth girl through and through. But now I also have been given this Skylight, so I want to help you figure out which one is going to be the best system for you and your family. Okay, some of the basics, some of the boring. We're going to talk about price really quick, and then we're going to get into all the things that you really want to know. First, we have our Hearth Display in the 27-inch. This comes in black, white, and also the brown, which is what I have. And it costs $400.99. Now, because they love me and I love them, I also have a discount that will save you an additional $50 when you use my link down below. And then over here, we have the Skylight Max, and it comes in white or black with also a shadow box option. And this is $500.99. Now, they both come with memberships that are very important, and you need to get them because it's kind of a make it or break it. For the Skylight, it is $3.99 a month. And then for the Hearth Display, it's $9 a month, or if you do the yearly annual fee, then it is $7.20 for what it comes out every month. So we've got the basics out of the way. These things run pretty similarly in the way that they are laid out. So we're going to get into all the categories that they provide for you. With our Skylight, you can actually use this as a picture frame. So if you have people over and you don't want them looking at your routines or your schedules, they don't need to be looking at all of those things. Now with the Hearth Display, it does not go through a bunch of pictures, but you can have a screensaver and privacy mode so that everyone's not looking at your things. There is a small difference in the way that you can manage your profiles. Now, it makes a difference when you are looking at the calendar and the way that you are going into routines and all of that. So you will see how that plays out. The first category that we're going to get into is the calendar because, well, that's just the most important one, right? All right, so let's go. So this is our Skylight. There are a few different ways that you can have it displayed here. You can have it in the month, which is this. You can do week, day, and then also the schedule, which I think I like the most because it's just good for the day that is before you. So then over here on the Hearth Display, we have the calendar as well. We have days, weeks, or months. Here's the comparison of the month layout. I do appreciate that this one has the bubbles for the colors and for each profile. I think this is easier to look at and know what is happening. Over here, you just have the black leathering and then you have their color next to it, but you can't see it as well as over here. Up here's where you have the profiles, and over here, you also have the profiles, but you see there's no pictures over there, and pictures is huge when you have little kids because it helps them know what it is that they have to do. You can go in here, you can add events, putting them in here and adding who it is for. The same thing here, you could add chores or events. Now let's exit out of both of these. All right, now we're gonna go into the area of chores, and you're going to see that this is what I'm talking about with the profiles, where it makes the big difference. The first, we have our Skylight right here. This is the chore section. This is what they call it. Hearth calls it routines, but let's just stick with chores. So each one of these is a different person, but they all pop up at the same time. They're just kind of laid out as a list. Fine for if you have older kids, but with having younger ones, it's just too much for them to have on a screen and to not get overwhelmed by and know exactly what it is for them to do. But it pops up here in a list section and you can just click through them. And then, yay, it's all done. You can also add things from here, and you can do it on the app, which is great as well. This is the Hearth Display layout for the routines. The other thing that this one offers that the Skylight doesn't is you can do a morning routine and an evening routine. In the Skylight, it was only one category that showed up like a list, so you might as well just be using the list feature because there's not really a difference. All right, so we go through our morning, but my daughter already did her morning routine, so let's actually go through the evening. And then you can just click through them in this list section, or you can actually do it this way and it will move them on to the next job. It gives them the pictures that are helpful, and then also like up here on the top, so they see how many things that they need to get done on their list. Another great feature with the routine section, you can keep track of how they are doing with their routines. So there's a spot on the app that's called Streaks, and it keeps track of every single time they have accomplished the things on their routine. Now use this for at the end of the week, that if they've been doing a good job with getting everything done that they need to, then they get some money, some encouragement to do what they need to get done. Honestly, I'm not gonna keep track of that stuff on my own, so I love that it's in the app. Now we're gonna get into the area of the list. So you can create categories for the lists that you want. I have it broken down in a to-do list. I have groceries, get crap done, things around the house, and then my Costco list. Okay, so say we're going to go into things around the house. Now, the things are just in my category, but I can add things here for my husband and then also for anyone else in our family. And you don't need to share everything from your list. So I have personal lists that I don't want people, like I don't want my kids to see. I have a Christmas list on there, so when people are asking me, hey, what do we get them? I can just share that Christmas list with those people, but the kids never can see the list on the Hearth display. But I can keep all of my things in the same place, which is great for disorganized people like me. So then we have the list section on the Skylight. This is pretty similar in the way that it works. You can create different categories of the list that you want. It's not like its own full display, but I guess it doesn't really matter. You could just check things off. You can add things and create it for different people. The next category we're getting into is meal planning. This is a really cool category. I just don't meal prep now, but I want to have the option to meal prep if I decide I want to, and I think that it's a great thing to offer people. So let's get into the meal section on the Skylight, but it's really gonna come down to how you utilize most of that in the app. This is the meal section. You can click on the day. Let's say I'm gonna do buttered chicken. Then you can click there, and this is so cool because it has everything you need. You can also add this, all your ingredients, to a grocery shopping list, which is phenomenal. Now this next category is the exact reason why I want to buy a Hearth display in the first place, and that is because of the helper. When you are disorganized or you have a lot going on, you have kids and they come home from school with all those papers and invitations and all of that stuff, like sometimes it's just hard to get up on the calendar. But with this amazing helper, you can actually take a picture of something and send it to the Hearth helper. And I have that saved as a contact in my phone. So I take a picture and I send it off. Now it will respond with a text message, making sure they have all of the things that you need in what they're going to put in your calendar, and you confirm it and they put it up there for you. Now the Skylight has a Sidekick. You can import things, you can plan meals from here, you can import recipes, import a list. Now the meal planning, I'm gonna show you some of that. You can go in and you can put in what you're having. Buttered chicken. I don't know why I'm doing so much of that. How many people, what day you're having it, how many people. You could generate a list and then like create the plan. So you can import recipes however you want. I just downloaded one from Pinterest using the URL, and then it pops it all up there. You can talk into the mic, but it's the same thing as if you were to use whatever it's called, dictation on your phone. So I don't think it matters that much. So the Sidekick and the helper are truly like the biggest thing that helps with organizing and making sure you're keeping track of things and not like letting things slip through the cracks, because it happens at times. So I've pretty much gone over all the categories and what these have to offer you. So the decision's up to you. For me, I am going to be sticking with the Hearth display, and it really comes down to the routines and how easy that is to set up and to utilize for my young ones. And there's also some other great features that it is coming out with. For instance, it already has a camera. I'm not sure what that's for, but I know it's gonna be something good. They're constantly coming out with new features and new updates. So by the time this video even gets out there, there might be something new for you. And if you would like to see my other video about the Hearth display, then you can click that video right here and I will see you over there.